It's Top 5 Friday! Today's theme is my top 5 Prada fragrances for men. J-ROYL presents Top 5 Friday. I'm back, guys. It's James here, and we have another cool top 5 for you guys, and it's the Prada Top 5. Prada is probably one of my favorite designer fragrances to wear in the summer because they're clean, they're soapy, you don't smell like a douche wearing them. But they still have some dimension to them. They're not just a standard soap fragrance. There's more to them, especially with some of their darker, richer fragrances. Really, I can recommend them to any dudes out there if you want to smell fresh to death. I have one honorable mention in this list, and it's one that isn't really talked about too much. This is Prada Luna Rossa Eau Sport. Eau Sport! I would say this is closer to the original Luna Rossa. Longevity is less to be desired, but I have a very specific use for this. As you can tell, I have used quite a bit of it. This fragrance gets used as a top coat on other fragrances. Stay tuned for Tuesday's video, and I'm gonna talk about top coats and primers for fragrances, which is kind of loosely based on my painting profession, but it also applies to fragrances too, so stay tuned for that. If Eau Sport was a Creed fragrance, it would be Royal Water. Perfectly pleasant, but doesn't really make a statement. And I like statements. I like making statements. And I like my fragrances to make statements, therefore, as well, thus far, furthermore. My number 5 Prada fragrance, Luna Rossa. The Eau Jizzle. Jizzle. The original Luna Rossa. This fragrance is a lavender-based fragrance. It's very fresh. It absolutely has that soapy vibe that Prada fragrances are known for, kind of like Amber Pour Homme. It's a good compliment getter because you smell clean wearing it. It's only number 5 because it's just a soap fragrance, basically. So I might as well wear Mugler cologne. And you know how much I like Mugler. My number 5, Luna Rossa. My number 4 Prada fragrance is Prada Lom. Whoa, what? J-ROYL has lost his marbles. Prada Lom is a fragrance that I shat on ever since it came out because as a big fan of Dior Homme Eau, I felt this was a bit redundant for me. It is a bit different though. While Dior Homme Eau is a little more Dior Homme, Prada Lom is more Valentino Uomo, so there's a little more to it. But if I'm reaching for an iris-based fragrance, I might as well go for something that has a more prominent iris note. This also isn't a fragrance I reach for very often simply because I don't work in an office environment, and this is probably one of the best office fragrances, which I didn't feature in my office fragrance video, but only when I need a dumb reach, when I'm feeling more dumb than usual, then I'll reach for this guy, because it's great. So don't hate me for putting this at number 4. At least it made the list. Number 4, Lom. My number 3 Prada fragrance happens to be my favorite Prada bottle, Luna Rossa Sport. This fragrance takes the original and then it adds a little more tonka bean, a little more sweet notes, a little bit of spice as well. And it really transcends the traditional sport tag, which is why I like it. I do like fragrances that are a bit different, and Luna Rossa Sport does that for me. Compliment getter.
Definitely, definitely, definitely.
I'm also a bit attached to this one because it was the first Prada fragrance I bought and smelt, and I think it'll always be in my collection because it is very enjoyable. Longevity is pretty good too. This is one that you can spray your clothes on because it is fairly one-dimensional. You don't need it to develop on your skin, really. You can just spray your clothes and you'll always smell delightful with this fragrance on. So, at number 3, Luna Rossa Sport. Number 2, guys. Okay, now we're getting to the nitty-gritty here. The number 2 fragrance on my list, L'Homme Intense, or Intense. L'Homme Intense is essentially the Dior Homme Parfum of Prada. What it did was it took the standard L'Homme, the iris note, added leather, made it more manly, made it more of a conversation piece, if you will. Don't know if that made sense. This fragrance is definitely a huge compliment getter, and it's very, very pleasant. It does something that the original Lom didn't really do for me. The reason this one isn't number one for me is because I go anosmic on it immediately. Once it's applied, it kind of just disappears. And what's dangerous is it's still projecting. It still performs, but it's not one that I can actually enjoy for myself while wearing it for whatever reason. And that's a big bummer, man. It's a big buzzkill, bro. You want to enjoy your fragrances. You want your own personal aromatherapy happening. And I don't get that with this. I've worn this in the summer months, but you got to be really light on the trigger, so just maybe 2 sprays. Or you can spray the back of your knees. Thank you, Steven from Red Lessons. He gave me that cool tip, bro. Pro tip! Check out this fragrance if you haven't, guys. It is pretty wonderful. This is an improvement of the original, however, not as versatile as the original. You can wear the original Lom a lot more than you can wear this, but when you wear this, the people around you will thank you. My number 2 pick, L'Homme Intense. My number 1 Prada fragrance, you guys probably have guessed it. You know me, guys, I'm wearing black, right? That gives it away. I have a black shirt on, which means my number 1 pick has to be Luna Rossa Extreme. Not Carbon. Luna Rossa Extreme is my favorite Prada fragrance by a long shot. I do like more complex, richer, darker fragrances. This fragrance takes the original, adds black pepper. It makes it really manly. Amazing nighttime fragrance. The longevity is very, very good on my skin. I tried this on at the airport and then I took a 13-hour flight and it was still lightly projecting at the end of the flight. To me, this is my favorite smelling fragrance. I love the smell of this fragrance. I love it how it smells on myself. It is a compliment getter, but I will say that L'Homme Intense kind of edges it out slightly.
Why didn't Carbon make the list?
What are you thinking, James? I'll tell you why Carbon didn't make the list. Because when I want to reach for Carbon, I reach for this. I've tried all the fragrances that are comparable to Carbon. If I'm reaching for a Prada fragrance, I really want it to do its own thing. I don't want it to borrow from Christian Dior. And man, the Very Cool spray, it's very nice. It is very cool. Very hot. Although the presentation is a bit iffy and it's a lot harder to track your juice usage, this is an easier to wear Sauvage with more citrus. It is a goodie. So instead of getting yet another Sauvage wannabe, I'll just use the real thing, but the improved version of the real thing. Back to Prada. It still has the DNA of the original, so it's wearable in the summer, but it's definitely manly. Definitely got that spiciness to it, bro. That really just makes you feel like a real man with real balls. This has amazing reviews on Fragrantica for a reason, because people love this guy. My number 1 Prada fragrance, Luna Rossa Extreme. And that's another top 5 in the bag. If you have a favorite Prada fragrance, whether or not it's Lom or Carbon, let me know in the comment section below. But don't be a follower, man. Don't follow the herd like cattle, like livestock. You know, you don't have to like fragrances because everyone else is boosting it. You gotta like what you like, man. You gotta develop your own nose. All of our links to social media are down below. And if you like what you see, this sick sunburn I got today, then go ahead and click the subscribe button. You may ring the bell if you please. Today's goodbye song will be sung in the style of Extreme. Saying I love you is not the words I want to hear from you. The band's name's Extreme, so. More than words, big tune, big tune, big tune. More than words, brethren.